I'm a 16-year-old boy and I have a sister who is 14 years old. My sister was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia when she was 6 years old, and she had ongoing medical needs for 5 years. She's been healthy for the last 3 years and returned to normal. My parents put me on the back burner in a major way, and they were not there for me. I was either bounced around to different family members or I was left alone. My birthday was forgotten a few years and Christmas was about her, and I was asked to put the effort into making sure she had all the gifts and joy she could get, because it could be her last. I was miserable, and I know none of us were happy, but I really felt like I was basically there as a prop to try and cheer her up sometimes. She would ask for stuff, and they would move heaven and earth to get it, and sometimes it was stuff I had. Before she got sick, my parents had bought me this beanbag chair for my room that was probably more expensive now that I think about it, and they gave it to her. When I brought home a treat from school, they would ask and tell me to give it to my sister to cheer her up, and sometimes she would ask for it. When I didn't bring something home for a while, they would ask me if I ate it like it was some crime I committed. We went to see Santa for a few years after she was sick, and I got a better cheap toy that we swapped because I couldn't have something a little nicer than her. Which meant I got stuck with a lot of jewellery making kids or sparkly pink stationery kits. Last Christmas I got clothes while she got a new phone and a Switch skin. I turned 16 years old in June and I'd saved to buy a gaming laptop. It was a lot of saving my wages and buying nothing, but I really wanted it. My two best friends decided to forgo buying me something and gave me money to get it, and they came with me to pick it up. Last week my parents and sister were in the living room when I got home from school, and my parents told me my sister wanted to play games with her friends, computer games, and that they thought since I had a gaming laptop I could just give it to her since it would make more sense than going out and buying a new one. When I didn't answer right away, they were like, "Oh, well, of course you could always share it between you." And I lost it. I started yelling and cursing. I told them of course she should freaking have it, and why the frick not. I went into my room and took my clothes and said she should have all that too. I said, why not take my bed and give it to her as well? Then I pointed out she had a new bed and my bed was 12 years old. I told them to take everything I own since she deserves it all, and I don't deserve shoot because I never got sick as a kid. My sister didn't say a word and my parents were shocked, but then they were pretty pissed with me and asked me what the hell I was behaving like that for. Things have been tense since, though I still have my laptop. Am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Look up glass children. This is unfortunately a pretty common family dynamic, where the healthy siblings' needs are completely ignored or disregarded. I'm so sorry your parents are treating you like this. I would suggest sitting down with your parents or writing them a letter, telling them exactly how their behaviour has affected you and permanently altered your relationship with both them and your sister. I don't know that they will change, but you'll probably feel better getting it off your chest. If you plan to leave for college or trade school, I would start talking to other trusted family members or adults about your plans. Start looking into scholarships or apprenticeships or whatever you need to do to become independent. BC, you deserve to find happiness. Comment 2. Not the idiot as a shadow sibling of a miracle sibling. I understand this experience. You built up key skills like resilience and independence as a result of their neglect. Your sister has learned to take advantage of you based on the behaviour modelled after your parents. It gets better as soon as you move out, it gets better. As soon as they realise you never call, it gets better. As soon as you create your own family, it gets better. You have learned to expect nothing, create some physical and emotional distance for self-preservation, and keep moving forward. Comment 3. If they still don't get why you are so pissed, tell them to pull out the receipts of all the things they have bought for you and your sister and compare them. And if they can't figure out what the hell is the problem after doing the math, then there's little to talk about. Oh, and it's a laptop you bought with your money, so giving away is out of question. Not the idiot now for the update. So, 2 weeks have passed and a lot has gone down. I had a massive blowout with my parents after the laptop debacle. I told them everything I've been feeling since my sister got sick, how I felt ignored, not just neglected. They were stunned, especially when I told them how much my friends had chipped in for the laptop. I think it struck them how much I'd relied on my friends for emotional support during the tough times. Then, the most unexpected thing happened. My sister stepped in. She told my parents that she hadn't asked for my laptop, that she was happy with her own stuff. She also said she'd noticed how much I'd been sidelined. She apologised for how I'd been treated and agreed to talk to our parents about it. Honestly, I was shocked. We hadn't been close since her diagnosis, and I hadn't expected her to stand up for me. My parents took a step back to consider everything. They apologised to me, something I had never thought would happen. They admitted they hadn't realized how much they'd been neglecting me, that they'd been so wrapped up in my sister's health, they forgot I needed them too. They also insisted they loved me as much as my sister. They just struggled to balance the attention between her medical needs and my emotional ones. To make it up, they offered to buy a new laptop for my sister. But my sister declined, saying she didn't want to play on a laptop. She wanted to learn how to code. So my parents are now looking into coding classes for her. Meanwhile, I get to keep my laptop, and my friends are relieved. We've been having some epic gaming sessions lately. Something else amazing happened. My sister and I started hanging out. There's still a lot of stuff between us, but we're trying to connect again. She's pretty cool when she's not monopolizing my parents. I guess she was just as trapped in the situation as I was. Things aren't totally cool yet, but they're better. We're all trying to communicate more, and I feel more seen by my parents. It's not perfect, but we're making progress. It's going to take time to fully heal, but I think we're moving in the right direction. Oh, and by the way, my parents are planning to take us both out for a belated birthday celebration. Just the three of us, each getting a day to ourselves. Feels good, folks. Feels damn good. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. The fact that you're feeling neglected is completely valid, and it's not something you should feel guilty about. It's understandable that your sister getting sick would require a lot of your parents' attention, but that doesn't mean you should be completely overlooked. It's great that your sister defended you and your parents apologized and acknowledged their neglect. It shows that they do care about you and are willing to make changes to improve the situation. Also, it's commendable that you've been able to maintain a friendship and work on reconnecting with your sister amidst all of this. Comment 2, not the idiot. It's crucial to remember that emotions aren't a competition. Just because your sister is sick, it doesn't invalidate your feelings or your experiences. Your feelings of neglect are valid, and it's important that your family understands this. It's a good sign that your parents have acknowledged their neglect and are making an effort to make up for it. It's also great that your sister is understanding and supportive of your situation. Working on your relationship with her will be beneficial for both of you in the long run. Comment 3, not the idiot. In addition to what's been said, I'd like to add that your parents offering to buy a new laptop for your sister instead of you is a clear indication that they've recognized their neglect and are trying to compensate for it. It's commendable that they're trying to make amends, but it's also important that they take a step back and consider what you both really need. Your sister declining the laptop and expressing an interest in learning to code is a great step in her deciding what's best for her. It's important to keep these lines of communication open in the future and continue to work on your relationship with your family. It's not an easy road, but it seems like you're all headed in the right direction. Now for the next story. My daughter is 6 months old and breastfed. I'm vegan, my husband isn't, and our toddler is vegetarian/veganish. He doesn't like animal dairy but will ravish eggs. We don't cook meat in the home, although my husband eats it out of the home, and our toddler isn't a fan. Before anyone jumps on my butt, he has been introduced to it because his dad eats it. He just prefers fries. Same kid. Anyway, I took my daughter to my parents' house about a week ago. My mum is also vegan, so we were eating our tofu and rice. My daughter has just started solids, so she was also going ham on my plate. My parents' dog ate more than I did. My younger sister, 15, had her friends over. They were having burgers or something and watching me with my daughter. After I ate, I nursed her, and one asked if I was vegan. I said yes. She got this weird kind of look and asked if my baby was going to be vegan. I just kind of shrugged because, she could be a dairy-hating fry fiend like her brother or a cheeseaholic like her daddy. Maybe, maybe not. My sister's friend nodded and spoke to me a little more before leaving. I thought it was a little odd, but shrugged it off. Teens are weird creatures sometimes. Anyway, unbeknownst to me, this teen had decided I was a crazy vegan crunchy mum. There are a few TikTokers who are apparently stupid about their kids' safety and happen to be breastfeeding vegans. Like yours truly. I thought all was well. My sister sent me a link on the importance of a balanced diet for kids among a few other bits, and eventually I called her. I was like, what the hell? And she started going on about how I was a bad mum. I told her to watch her mouth and she blew up and said, I was the one with a crunchy vegan baby. So turns out her friends are all convinced my children are terribly abused by my veganism, and because she'd never seen my toddler eat meat, it was clearly true. I told her to calm the frick down, explain my parenting, yada yada. She then got mad because all her friends think I'm a terrible mum, and I should have been clearer and not just shrugged her friend's question off because I should have known what they would have assumed I meant. I think she's being dramatic. They were worried, wires got crossed, all is well. She's still acting like it's the worst thing in the world. So basically, am I the idiot for making a mistake and having my sister's friends think I've got a crunchy vegan baby? As a side note, my husband was feeling petty, so he went and got ribs for lunch. Filmed little lady eating her first rib. I can now firmly say she will not be a vegan, vegetarian or anything of the sort. Happier than a kid on Christmas. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Over 20 years ago, my daughter started out vegetarian. I had decided she would be one until she could ask to try. Meat she did at 5 and has eaten meat ever since. She was on the smaller side and her paediatrician was worried she was malnourished and threatened to call CPS on me. She ran a blood panel on her and even went into the office on a Saturday to get the results. She called me and apologised profusely. My daughter's nutritional panel was completely balanced. My point is, even doctors are ignorant when it comes to nutrition, so teenagers' opinions and knowledge about that matter are absolutely worthless. Keep doing what is right for your family, and when in doubt, seek professional guidance and advice. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Generally, the opinions of 15-year-olds shouldn't be trusted, and it's unfortunate that your sister hasn't learned that yet. She's probably afraid to lose the social currency of being a righteous educator amongst her friends. She had a purpose to brag about, and now she doesn't. This is entirely about the teen social hierarchy and not about you at all. She'll get over it when the next life-shattering drama happens. Comment 3. There was a story about a child who died from a ridiculously restricted diet given by his vegan parents, so maybe that's what they have heard of. If you are eating a well-balanced diet and supplement with B12, then you and your baby are fine. So far, he's just a boobitarian. It's not even a real issue till he's over one, and if he eats a variety of plant products, he's fine. Now for the update. So things have taken a turn for the worse in the last month. My sister's friends took things a step further and reported me to Child Protective Services, CPS, citing child abuse due to my supposed imposition of a vegan diet on my 6-month-old daughter. Can you believe it? I received an unexpected knock on the door one morning and found 2 CPS agents on my doorstep, questioning me about my daughter's diet and welfare. It was outrageous, but I kept my cool, explained the mix-up, and invited them in to meet my daughter. In an ironic twist of fate, my husband had gotten into the habit of filming our daughter eating different types of food, fruits, vegetables, creamed chicken, mashed potatoes, you name it, for his social media. This new hobby of his turned out to be a blessing in disguise. We showed these videos to the CPS agents as proof that we were not imposing any kind of diet on our baby. They seemed satisfied, but said they had to continue with a thorough inspection as part of protocol. They interviewed my husband and me separately, checked our kitchen, saw the wholesome food we had stocked up for our daughter, and even met with our paediatrician to verify our daughter's health records. Meanwhile, my sister was having a meltdown. She'd gotten wind of the CPS visit, and as penance rounded up her friends, one of whom was the original rumour spreader, for a family meeting. In her own way, she was trying to make amends, but her friends' guilt-tripping and apologising felt more like a witch trial. I listened, nodded, and told them in no uncertain terms to keep their opinions about my parenting to themselves. In the end, CPS closed the case, concluding that it was indeed a misunderstanding and that my daughter was perfectly healthy and well cared for. An unnecessary ordeal, true, but it did provide an unexpected upside. The rumour spreader had been unmasked and faced consequences for her reckless actions, being shunned by most of our community, and my sister cut ties with her completely. So, all in all, a turbulent but enlightening month. The dust has settled, and we are moving forward, rumour-free and with a strengthened sense of family unity. The husband's still filming our daughter's meals, though. I guess some habits die hard. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. The use of CPS should be reserved for instances of actual child abuse and neglect, not weaponised due to personal disagreements on dietary choices. You provided convincing evidence demonstrating that your child was not only being fed, but was also receiving a well-rounded diet. It's also commendable that you maintained a calm demeanour throughout the entire ordeal, and I'm glad to see that CPS recognised the situation for what it was. The sister's friends' actions were out of line, and it's good to see that they faced consequences for their reckless accusations. It's unfortunate that your sister had to lose friends over this, but it's probably for the best if they're the type to jump to such drastic conclusions without sufficient proof. The fact that your family has managed to strengthen its unity despite this ordeal speaks volumes about your resilience and dedication to each other. Comment 2. Not the idiot. As long as your child is being provided with a balanced diet that meets her nutritional needs, there should be no issue with her being on a vegan diet. It is critical to consult with a paediatrician or a dietitian to ensure the child's diet is balanced and complete, which you have clearly done, given the feedback from CPS. It's also worth mentioning that filming your daughter's meals is an excellent idea. Not only does this provide tangible evidence of her diet, but it also creates a record that can be useful for monitoring her dietary habits and patterns over time. It's unfortunate that this situation arose due to misinformation and prejudice against your lifestyle choices, but it's commendable how you've turned this into an opportunity for growth and unity within your family. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's sad that your sister's friends felt the need to intervene in your family in such a drastic and inappropriate way. Vegan diets can be perfectly healthy for children, provided they're well planned and include all the necessary nutrients. It's clear that you've been doing your due diligence by consulting with a paediatrician, and CPS's findings only further validate this. The consequences faced by the friends for spreading rumours is a cautionary tale about making assumptions and jumping to conclusions. It's good that your sister has distanced herself from these friends, as their actions show a lack of understanding and respect for others' lifestyle choices. I'm glad to hear that your family has emerged stronger from this ordeal, and that you're continuing to document your daughter's meals. This not only defends against potential future accusations, but also helps you keep track of her nutrition. Now, for the next story. 2 days ago, my 21-year-old boyfriend had his friends over. I knew they were coming since he had told me the night before. It was surprisingly warm, and all I was wearing was a sports bra, which was sort of low-cut and kind of tight shorts. I sat on the couch next to my boyfriend for a little while they played some game on the TV, and then I went to get some lunch. By the time I finished eating, they had left, and my boyfriend completely blew up at me. He said I was dressed like that for attention, made all his friends stare at me and knew what I was doing. He thinks I should have covered up as soon as I saw them. He stormed out, and since he came home, he's barely spoken to me. Am I the idiot? Should I have worn something less revealing? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Everyone sucks here. Look, I get the argument. You can wear whatever. But honestly, it's all about intent and understanding that cause and effect is at play. If you dress a certain way, you will get more attention. Was your boyfriend inappropriate for blowing up at you? Absolutely. However, to completely hide behind "it was just sportswear" and to assume you were not receiving that kind of attention is naive at best. Also, you should be more mindful of your boyfriend's feelings as well. In a way, you're telling him to build a bridge and get over it. But you're also ignoring his feelings for the sake of female empowerment. There's a time to be right and a time to be considerate. The key to adulthood is picking the right one. Comment 2. It sounds like you guys have different feelings about modesty. Personally, neither me nor my partner would care about visible skin. His family, however, is very active in their respective church communities, and I can tell that sometimes my visible mid-drift or bra-only outfits make them a little uncomfortable. I'm breastfeeding RN, so it legitimately just easier for me. I can tell they don't want to make me uncomfy with their discomfort, though. We just try to do our best to get comfortable, BC. We want to all be happy together. I think you guys should have a very honest discussion about how you both feel about modesty in the home and in public. Comment 3. Everyone sucks here. Your man for not speaking his concerns instead of yelling. Girl, you knew the day before they were coming. Let's be honest, if your friends came over half naked and he was looking, you would be pissed. I understand if you were going to work out, it made sense for you to be wearing that. Was it hard to throw a shirt on top before the friends arrived and you could have just took it right back off before they left? I'm not saying you have to dress that way for them, but BC, like I stated earlier, if the situation was reversed, I'm sure you would be pissed. Honestly, I would have just stayed in the other room until they were done hanging out. Now for the update. So, on to the update. My boyfriend did eventually come back home, but things have taken a turn for the worst. He demanded I change my style and started going through my closet, tossing all clothes he deemed too provocative. It was incredibly humiliating and invasive. I was shocked but held my ground, told him that I wasn't going to change my identity or self-expression for anyone. He didn't take it well. His anger seemed to deepen and he started to control other aspects of my life as well. He began dictating what I could eat, attempted to control my interactions with my friends, even tried to monitor my phone activity. It was like living with a completely different person. A week later, he started getting physical. It wasn't anything too major at first, just a shove here, a push there, but it gradually escalated. He'd grab my arm, twist it slightly whenever he was angry, or give me these violent, threatening looks that would send chills down my spine. It was clear that he was trying to assert some sort of twisted dominance over me. One evening I decided to confront him again. I told him that his behavior was unacceptable and that our relationship couldn't continue like this. He shrugged and replied that if I didn't like it, I could leave. Just like that. No remorse, no apology, nothing. The guy I fell in love with was gone, replaced by this cold, controlling stranger. The situation has taken a toll on my mental health. The constant tension at home and the fear of his unpredictable behavior is draining. I haven't been able to focus at work, and my friends have started to notice something's wrong. Despite all this, I'm not considering leaving. I've been looking into local resources and shelters, and I'm trying to save up enough money to move out on my own. It's hard, but I'm determined to get out of this situation. I realize now that his behavior has nothing to do with what I choose to wear or how I present myself. It's about him and his issues, and I refuse to be a casualty of his insecurities and control issues. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. This is an hurtful relationship, plain and simple. Your boyfriend has no right to control your appearance, diet or social interactions, let alone resort to physical violence. Regardless of his insecurities, this is not an excuse for his behavior. Your recognition of this situation and determination to leave are commendable, as it is a challenging and brave step to take. You are absolutely right that his actions are not your fault. Keep reminding yourself of your worth and don't let his abuse define you. You deserve respect, autonomy and freedom from fear in a relationship. Reach out to local resources, family, friends and authorities. They are there to help you. You are strong, remember that. Comment 2. Not the idiot. It's so important to recognize that this is abuse, and it's not something you should have to endure. His attempt to control your style, diet, friends, and even resorting to physical violence is a clear sign of an hurtful relationship. It's completely unacceptable, and you're not at fault for his actions. It's his insecurities and control issues that are the problem, not you. You don't owe him any concessions or changes to your lifestyle to cater to his insecurities. You're making the right decision in leaving and seeking help. Stay strong and stay safe. You deserve better than this. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's heartbreaking to hear that you're going through this. No one should have to experience such behavior in a relationship. It's a clear violation of your personal boundaries and rights. His demands for you to change your style, control over your diet, social interactions, and the physical abuse are all clear signs of a toxic and hurtful relationship. It's incredibly brave of you to confront him and decide to leave. His behavior is not a reflection on you, but on his own insecurities and control issues. It's important to remember that you are not alone in this. Reach out to local resources and shelters. They are there to help you. You are stronger than you realize. You deserve nothing but respect and love. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.